Some schools in central Indiana have started to welcome back students in person, and this comeback hasn't been perfect. Several schools have experienced COVID-19 difficulties. Tonight, RTV6 is asking the state if it will be providing more guidance to schools on how to keep students and staff safe. Stephanie Wade is speaking to administrators in one district which had a COVID-19 case during their first day of class.
The very night after students' first day back here at school, the Greenfield Central superintendent emailed parents notifying them that a student did indeed come to school that day, later testing positive for the coronavirus.
That was a little alarming, a little disappointing. We put 3 months into planning for this.
That afternoon on day one, the Hancock County Health Department called Greenfield Central Schools to tell them that a student at the junior high had tested positive for the coronavirus.
The student had taken the test a few days before, came to school before they got the results. Upon finding that out, we pulled the student from a classroom, isolated that individual in the clinic.
From there, they identified through seating charts who was close to the student and notified those families to quarantine for 14 days.
COVID is going to spread, so we had to have protocols in place to make sure that we knew what we would do and to work with our principals and teachers to let them know how we would follow through with it, to let our community know that.
Greenfield, just one of the districts to have a positive COVID case within the first week. Some wishing for more guidance from the state, as the Department of Education largely left their guidelines and recommendations up to the local health departments and school districts.
Everybody wants more support, but obviously we've got to figure out how to do that with the support that we have in place.
Dr. Harold Olin realizing
contact tracing requires a lot of time. Think about that from one case for a student that was with us for part of the day. Think about what that would look like on a day where you may have 2 or 3.
In this ever-changing environment, the threshold for them, he says,
it's not a number of cases specifically. If our attendance rate reaches an alarming rate, we could certainly consider moving everyone to a virtual environment. We will have conversation with the local health department if our attendance rate drops below 90%.
In Greenfield, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Well, the state health department tells RTV6 it is not tracking COVID-19 cases in schools right now. There is also no requirement for schools to have their COVID-19 safety plans approved by the state. But the DOE says it is required to update its continuous learning plan. The DOE plans on holding a press briefing this week to update us further.